Hi everyone. So welcome to Social Sciences class 7. So today what we have for you is something very interesting. It really interests me because I'm a person who watches TV, the political debates. I'm a person who reads newspapers and when I was young we did not have TV, so I used to really listen to the radio and very happy to be on the Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is my latest craze, and I'm sure you all know Instagram and things like that. So what exactly are we going to talk about today in our learning session in social sciences? Because Insta and Facebook is something that is absolutely not kind of education. Everyone knows how to do it. So what am I supposed to be teaching you, especially with the Insta? So let's find out what we have in store for you today. So today the learning topic is understanding media, and it is chapter number 25 and the pages are 103 to 107. So if you don't have your books, you can just take them out. So this is kind of what media is all about, right? Internet, radio, television, magazine, newspapers. So what has taken over our entire world is internet, and less of radio, less of magazine, and I think zero newspapers. Although I still like to sit with a newspaper, I kind of love reading newspapers. So how do you understand what is media? Now remember, this word, this term called media is a plural form of medium. So whatever medium is giving you information, or you are able to communicate, like WhatsApp, you're able to communicate. So that's a medium of communication. So once you kind of put your Facebook, your Insta, your Twitter, your WhatsApp into one whole, you call it as media. So media is the plural form of medium. So fourth pillar of democracy. Now, why do we say that it is the fourth pillar of democracy? And in today's world, it is very important because you have the three pillars of democracy, that is legislature, executive, judiciary. But the most important is the pillar that is the fourth one, and that is your media. Now, media is one which shows you what is happening around the world. If I want to know about a state called Jharkhand, how do I know? Because I don't stay in Jharkhand, I stay in Nagaland. So what will tell you? What will tell me about Jharkhand is the media. So if the media is not telling me the actual truth, I will believe in the lies that they put in front of me. So the role of media is very important in a democratic country, and especially in a country like us, especially in countries where there's a lot of unrest going on. So if there is a war-torn country, the media's role is very important to show what war brings in, so that we know how to not be at war and how to start believing in peace looking at those pictures. So media is known as a fourth pillar of democracy. Wherever you feel that the government of the day goes wrong, it is the role of the media which comes into scanner, because they are the ones who are going to tell us that this went wrong. Even with the bureaucrats, if you feel that they went wrong somewhere in their duties, what is the role of a media? It should be there on the Twitter, it should be there on the Facebook, so that the next time that they are functioning, they know that they do not have to go wrong. They have to, human mistakes is absolutely fine and acceptable, but a mistake that is committed while knowing consciously that it is going to hurt the society, that is what the media is supposed to be highlighting. So to make India a better world, to make India a more democratic form of government, the role of media should be above all these three pillars. So it is called the fourth pillar of democracy. Relying on these two statements, the highly important role that the media plays in our day-to-day life is very evident. Evident is it can be seen. The media must act as a third eye to the government and must keep us aware and informed of what is happening around the world. The word media is the plural of medium. It is a medium of communication. So remember, the role of media is very, very important, especially in a democratic setup. So what are the examples? What do we call as medium, or what do we call as media? So a television is a media, radio, newspaper, social media is your Insta, your Facebook, your Twitter, all of these. Digital media and the internet. So internet is something that works because the WhatsApp and every other thing, every other app that works has to be through the internet. So that's why internet is important. So if you ever go through Twitter when you are an adult, you would see that there are trends that happen every day, and there are times that the government or the bureaucrat takes away that decision because the trend shows that the people are angry. So that is how powerful your Facebook and Twitter is, but remember, it has to be a positive trend. Alright, so the media influences people and makes or forms opinion on matters of importance. So if in the early days when there was this Lux ad on the TV and they used to show beautiful Hema Malini, I thought I'm going to start using the same Lux and be as pretty and beautiful as Hema Malini. Unfortunately, that did not happen, but this is how powerful the media is. This is how powerful you tend to start forming your opinion based on the news reports that happen on the TV or somewhere else. So what is the role of a media in a democracy? So in a democratic society, the media have the responsibility of promoting democratic principles. And what are those democratic principles? You need to be transparent. So whatever decision has been made by the government, they should tell us that this is the decision that we made and these are the facts. And based on these facts, the decision was made. Accountability. If you think the government went wrong in that decision, the accountability should be there. They should be held accountable for messing up things. Then the freedom of the speech. So remember, this is what the media does. It tries to tell the government you need to be transparent, you need to be accountable for your actions, and the freedom of speech, which is so very, very important. It's a democratic society. I have to say what I have to say. But remember, it should be in the good of the country. It should be well within the rights that you have been given. Secondly, their role is also to empower the citizens of the country by keeping them constantly informed. Now, whatever is happening in the entire world. So like if you have a cricket match today and you did not have the electricity or you were busy and you could not watch that match, but you still want to know what happened at the end. So this is what the media can inform you. Somewhere a crime took place. Maybe it was in your mother's neighborhood and you have no idea. So who's going to inform you? You switch on the TV, you read the newspaper and you come to know. So these are the kind of information that the media should be providing you with. Then their rights and responsibilities as citizens. So they should also be a part of our growth as citizens of India. They should also tell us what are the things, what are the responsibilities that as an Indian citizen I should be doing. Information affecting the democratic decision making. So if I decide that I'm not going to vote, that is something I should never do. That is something that all voting citizens, all who are 18 and above, should be their rights. It should be the duty also that they know that this is a decision that I should be making because it's a country where I live and all the decisions are going to affect my life too. The political parties employ media to create and shape public opinion in their favor. That happens all the time. The way it happens with us, we want to buy the Dio because there was Shah Rukh Khan in it. So it's the same. The political parties will always employ media and will always say that, oh, publish this. Like you have a big ad featuring the chief minister of a state and saying that, okay, these are the things that we have done. So they also use media because, of course, they also have to tell the masses that these are the things that we have done. But remember, the media should remember that their role is partisan. They should not be thinking that, oh, because this is the ruling party, I'm going to show this. This is the opposition party, I'm not going to show this. So that is where the role of a media is there in a democracy. Then the media should also create a platform for sharing ideas and opinions and discussions and debates. So all the time if you see on TV 9 o'clock prime debate, they're all fighting. That's not the way the debate should happen. But of course the debate should happen, because that is where you find out how opinions are different and how you learn to respect the opinion of a person who's coming from a different place. Then furthermore, the media's role is to entertain and educate. That's, I think, the foremost role for children, because they are able to see Cartoon Network, they are able to see movies, so they also entertain. They also promote nation building. So how do they promote nation building? Everyone says that, oh, national anthem has come and we need to stand. So if you're watching a match and the national anthem plays, what all of us do is we start singing. So that is how they promote the nation building. Then they encourage diversity of expression. So if there's if I as a North Indian is watching a movie in another language, that is telling me that, see, this movie is so different from the Hindi movies that I have watched. So this is the diversity of expression. So we learn to accept the way the other person is with all his cultural values intact. Alright, so the media should also report in a manner. So if there is a crime happening, if there is something political decision has been made, so when they report, they have to be objective, which means they are not telling the part of the government, they are not even taking the side of the opposition. Whatever they feel is the right, that should be their objective. Factual and unbiased. They should not be on somebody's side and then say, oh, this happened because of these reasons. So whenever there is a report that is happening, remember the media has to be very, very factually correct, because us as consumers are going to observe whatever the news is given to us. Then the political parties, you should give equal coverage. You should give equal coverage to the ruling party as also the opposition. They act as a watchdog and a whistleblower. Why? Because they are the ones who tell that this is the policy that is not right, this is the policy which is right. Prioritize the interest of the public. Remember, media should always think that whenever they are reporting, when they are saying things on the national television, the interest of the public should be paramount and not the interest of the ruling government. So, these are print media and electronic media are called mass media. Why? Because these are the masses, you and me people are going to be watching. So print is all newspapers and all your magazines, electronic is your TV. Now, when we had this media and when we are talking about the freedom and independence of the citizens of this country, and when we also talk about the freedom of expression for the media houses, this is a 2005 RTI Act which came into existence and which is very, very important for us. That is called Right to Information. So any department you feel that there is a problem in that department, supposing you feel that the advertisement that was made for the vacancy that did not really happen, and you really want to know what happened to that vacancy because I wanted to apply. So you can always file an application to that particular department and get all the information. So any government department which you feel is not honest with you, you can always file that RTI and get the information. So you as a citizen of India has this right. Alright, so how do you file that information? So you have to have the documents ready with you, you have to have the application, and you can either post or you go on the RTI website and you can file your application there. I think it's a 10 rupees stamp that you have to give. Remember, whatever information the department is providing you, it should not hamper the defense. it should not hamper any kind of secrecy that the government has to do. Remember, the government also has a role to protect us. So there could be some information which cannot be provided to the citizen. So these kind of information you cannot take, but otherwise any other information that can be given to a citizen, you can always ask. So, under this provision of the Act, any citizen of India may request information from a public authority. Public authority is somebody who's in the government. So, it doesn't mean that you can go to Tata's and find it. You have to file it from a public authority. Now, when you have filed that application, they have to you have to give them 30 days and they have to give the response in 30 days flat time. If they take more than 30 days, they will have to pay you, and the payment has to be done from the private salary of the head of that department. Now, if it's a matter of urgency, which means it's affecting somebody's life or somebody's freedom, then you don't have to even wait for 30 days, it is just 48 hours. 35 days where a request is given to the assistant PIO. PIO is Public Information Officer. 40 days when the third party is involved. So if there are people after you have received, if there are more people on the same information, some more time can be given to you. If there is a human right violation information and it is actually from the intelligence agency, then you get 45 days. The Act also requires every public authority to computerize their records for wide dissemination. So whatever information you have got, it would be recorded and it can be accessed by somebody else as well. The RTI application is first filed at a police station in Pune, and the name of the person who did was Shahid. So remember, it's an act of 2005 and the first one who did was in Pune. The first RTI application in Delhi was filed to the Office of President about Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. And because this information disclosure is restricted by the Official Secret Act, so this information was not given. So remember, anything that is secret, anything that can harm our country's security, that is an information that cannot be provided, but rest of the information you can take whenever you want. You don't have to even say that why do you want it. Nothing is going to be asked, just 10 rupee postal stamp and you post it, or you go on the website and pay 10 rupees and get that information in 30 days. So that's how easy the government has made for Indian citizens, the information collection. So what is an advertisement? Advertisement is when you when you want to introduce a product, there's a brand image and you want to say something which is new in that product. So that is when and where you want to advertise something. So for advertisement, you can take TV, you can take newspaper, magazine, posting, even big hoardings that are there on the walls or on the roads. So that is the places that you can always advertise. Now there are three kinds of advertisement. So the first one is commercial. Now commercial is whatever product that you have. So that is all for selling that product. You want to sell a deo, you want to sell a shampoo, you want to sell your magazine. All of these are known as commercial advertising because these advertisements will always provide you with money. How? So if there is a Coca-Cola ad and it comes on the TV and I am impressed by that and I want to buy and consume. So I'm paying that money to the company of Coca-Cola. So that is what is commercial advertisement. Then you have the social. Now social is if there is some problem with the society, like earlier days you had this sati, you have this dowry system. So any kind of advertisement that is beneficial to the society at large, that is called your social advertisement. Then you have your political. So political is whenever you have election and you have those big banners, posters, and on the TV big ads are coming. So these are your three kinds of advertising. So the first was the commercial, then your social, and the third one is your political. So what are the regulations? Why do you feel that advertisement should be regulated? It should be regulated if it is against our morality, we feel that it is hurting our religious sentiments, then it should be according to the law of the country that the advertisement is happening. There should be no negative comment. It should not be that, Pepsi is better than Coca-Cola. That should not happen. Then whatever the information that they are providing us, that should be factually correct. So let's go on to the revision. So we learned media. So what is media? That's a plural form of medium, and media is wherever you find communication, wherever you find information coming through, that's your media. Now RTI Act of 2005, remember that is your right to information. You just have to file and get any kind of information, provided it does not have anything to do with our defense. I would also want you to write a paragraph on the need for media to function independently. And remember, this is something which is very, very important. So why do you feel, why do you think that media of today should be acting independently of all the pulls and pressures of all the political parties in our country? So I do hope that you learned something about media and you found it interesting that there are so many ways that media can influence the decision of you as a citizen, me as a citizen, and also the governments of today. So bye-bye.